Good day, everyone, and welcome to Saturday. It's the Saturday Q&A show. Oh, and we've got so much in store for you today. We got some touchy-feely it's going to happen in a little bit, for as bad as that sounds. Also, we have some updates that we're going to drop on you. And it's just Saturday, so we're going to have all kinds of fun and excitement. If you've got questions, go ahead and load them into the queue. Fernando's going to start just funneling through there and tagging them, and we're going to answer them up for you. But how was your day?
Today was fantastic.
Did you have a good day?
I had a good day.
We had some people visit us today, and I actually had a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were really cool dudes.
Yeah.
We hung out, we talked.
And then the second group that
we
came.
had the guys from Kentucky that came in. That was pretty cool. Yeah, today was just...
that was fantastic.
So Swizzle Sticks, yes, thank you. So here's one of the things that I was going to talk about. This week just got away from us in a weird way.
Yeah.
It wasn't particularly busy. It's just like we had a lot of little things we had to do. We filmed a lot of videos this week.
Yeah, that's why.
Because of that, we kept remembering, oh, Jesus, Instagram.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock. Okay, so that's kind of pointless. So in other words, that box that's sitting right there that I was so hoping to open and show you guys, plus I have the new altitude amplifier, which will not show you.
We have a lot of plastic right here.
We got a big shipment of plastic in this week. But because of that, we were just like, dude, Instagram totally suffered.
And I got it. Don't worry. I got this, bro.
Yeah, no, you're doing great.
Thank you.
I got some sugar. But no, yeah, we were just talking about Instagram suffered poorly this week. I want to apologize for that.
What's up, Brad?
Good day, Brad. How you going, buddy? But one of the things, good evening from Arkansas.
It's Arkansas. You gotta be Arkansas.
It's not Arkansas. Arkansas. Anyways, one of the things that we want to talk to you about was this guy right here. This year, the industry awards. Every year there's industry awards. Some years we run and some years we don't. I, of course, have gotten second place installer, or like we like to call first place loser. Trusted Tech was my big moment in the sunshine. This year, I actually entered again, but for a category that most people would be like, wait, what, really? But then it makes sense if you've seen the video, which a lot of you have, surprisingly. But this is that. So what they like to do is right now it's open for voting. So which we'll talk about in a second, how you vote. But first up is, so the goal of this is not to win. This is to get you into the top 12, top 5. All right. So for this, you have the installer of the year and the retailer of the year go to the top 12. Sales and Trusted Tech go to top 5. Once in the top 5 for Trusted Tech, though, you don't find anything out after that. And then, or you might not find anything out after this one, I don't think. I have to double check on that. But so it's, and then once you get that done, then you move on to the next round. So right now we're just shooting to get to the next round. And this is the round that's open to voting. Innovative Concepts, our good friend Nick Frazier is right now at 6% of the votes, along with Traffic Jams Motorsports, our good friends there. Sudsbury, that guy up in Canada. Just kidding. I like him. Yeah. And so anyways, Perfectionist is on there. Yes, of course it's Conrad. Conrad Ledoux.
Yeah.
Anyway, so very nice. Cartel. Mike is squeaking in right there at 12, which is cool. Hopefully he'll move up a couple more. Lake Town Speed and Sound, our good friends Angel and whatnot, and Angel Jr. So we got some really nice guys that are up there in the top. They need to stay in that top 12 in order to move on. Mm-hmm. Then we move down to installers. Oh, here we go. So coming in with 9.63% of the votes right now. And there again, keep in mind, you just have to be in the top 12. Okay, so you don't have to be number 1. You don't get anything extra for being number 1 other than to say, haha, I was number 1, bitch. We got our good friend Dave Kaz at Titan.
You have to say it like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Colin Bucky. Then out of Scottsdale, we got TJ, as I like to call Tom Jr., even though that's not what it stands for. Great guy. Works out at Music Car Northwest, my favorite place. Nick, there again, he's in both. He's got a retail. He's in first place in retail, and he's fourth place in installer right now. So very nice. Dalton Trainer coming in at 5. That's who I'm pulling for this year. I've already told you that.
Yeah.
Terry Dawson is on the list for the first time, I think. Cabe, everybody. Pimp My Ride, Cabes. Right now, he's safe in the top 6, so he can move on if he does it. Carlos Ramirez from MVS is squeaking in right now at number 11. And Angel is coming in number 10. So there's quite a lot there, but there's still time to screw that up. So no one is safe. Then we move on to Sales Pro. So this is going to be the top 5 making in. Right now, this guy, Dean from 5 Star, has got 19.64% of the votes. I mean, I don't know. He's doing pretty good. We're really rooting for him to pull it through in the end.
So if you are having vote,
we're going to show you how to vote so everyone can vote. Angel Jr. from Laketown Speed of Sound, the Angel's offspring, is coming in close behind by half. Kimberly, Dalton's mom, is coming in at 3rd place. Then we got Taco coming in number 4, and James Halter. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Coming in number 5, but it's a close list. It's very close. Those 4, 5, and 6 are really, even 7, 8. So there's a lot there. So we just got to make sure we make it in that top 5, and then you can come up. And then moving down to the Trusted Tech standings. This will probably be the only time they show us this, because this is a one and done, meaning you vote, the person wins. Right now, Ray West. The Ray West from Titan Motoring, the man, the myth, the legend, is coming in with 26.5% of the votes. Followed behind him at a distant 2nd place is this guy named Fernando Lopez from 5 Star Car Stereo. He's at 17%, almost 18%. So Dalton Trainer slipping in at 3. Good job, Fernando, by the way. So one thing to note about the Trusted Tech, this is not something you run for. This is something you get nominated to. So somebody actually had to be like, I want this person to be in this. So Fernando didn't run for it. This is somebody actually nominated him to be this. So that is really cool. This is one of those cool awards that you don't actually do anything other than be yourself. So congratulations, Fernando, for
just being myself.
Yep. And the list moves on. So this is one of those fun ones. So we'll see how that goes. Jim Rogers is coming in number 4. BJ Caruso from Broken Silence up there in Connecticut. Really cool guy. This is a great list, by the way. Like, if you're on this list, you're a fantastic individual. So everyone on this list is like, these guys are all really excellent guys. I love the Trusted Tech. This is why I wanted to run for it. And when I won it, I was speechless. It was one of the moments in my life where it was pretty exciting. So anyways, that's the standings. And then we have rookie right now. Yeah, a couple guys running on there. I think I know Isaac from Divine down south. The rest of them are new guys. So we'll see how that pans out. Now, if you guys would like to vote, if you're industry or consumer, there is voting for both of you. And I suggest all of you vote, because this is a fun vote. Like, we can't screw up the country or anything like that. So if you go to vote, so first off, you want to head to meindustry.awards.com. Just type in meindustry.awards.com. It'll take you to this ugly page. And then you're going to come over here to voting. You have 2 categories you can vote in. If you're a retailer, meaning you're somebody in the industry or a family member of somebody in the industry, you can vote Retail and Vendor Awards. If you're not in the industry, aka consumer, fanboy, whatever you want to call it, you have consumer voting down here. This allows you to vote for your top sales, your top retailer, and your top installer. So you guys still get to vote. The cool thing about these, there is a customer choice award. So somebody's going to win that. And to me, these are 3 awesome awards. I helped make these awards. So I love it, because these are awards decided by the consumers for who they love. So there again, everyone gets to vote, so you can hop in and vote and have fun. These are serious things, guys. A lot of people like this is it for the industry. Like, there's been tears shed, and by myself. So make sure to head over and do that. And that's what we got. So now we know how to vote. We know what's going on. It's super exciting. That's going to take us over to our first show sponsor before we get into these questions. I know we're 10 minutes, but this is fun. So Focal is a huge sponsor of the show, and we love them for it. One of the things that people often ask us is, hey, what music are you listening to? What do you play for a demo? Or you just bought some new speakers and you're like, hey man, I want to play some cool stuff, right? Everyone asks this. Is this how it's supposed to go? So if you head over to type in your browser, Focal playlist. That's all you got to do is type in Focal playlist. And it's going to take you to this page right here. It's located on focal.com, but like most things, it's hard to find. So I just Googled Focal playlist and it brought me to this. The reason why this is really cool is because, like we all admit, it's hard to find new music that's exciting, and it's also hard to find really good music that might actually be fun. And the nice thing about what Focal has done is they've curated a whole bunch of playlists that, depending on what streaming service you're listening to, so for example, they have all the little logos down here. So like you have Apple, Prime, Tidal, Spotify, and you can come across the top here and you can pick. So for example, if you pick jazz, believe it or not, there's nothing in jazz, but you have rock. There is 6 playlists for rock. There's a playlist for piano, symphonic, electro, funk, Latino, which Fernando's excited about. He's going to try jamming out to this weekend. If you're into French music, and then other just goes off the chain. We got EDM, hip hop, rap, R&B, SUV music, relaxing, summer vibe, home workout. So there is a ton of music for you to take part in. And if we come over here, so I've gone and clicked on Rock 1, and this is what it looks like when it opens up in your iTunes browser. So we got a good decent amount of songs here. We have 33 songs at 2.5 hours. So you could essentially put one of these on this weekend and just kind of jam out while you're cleaning the house. Maybe put on some of the headphones and just cool, or just if you're going for a drive this weekend, maybe download this or pop it up. But for the most part, why not? It's cool. It's music. It's a playlist. You might not be familiar with the music, and you can find something that you like. And Focal is taking the time to do this for you. And if you'd like to find it, like I said, just Google Focal playlist. Or if you'd like to learn more about Focal in general, head over to focal-america.com. Boom. Okay.
Boom.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, you sexy nacho. It's time to rise and grind. I thought it was a sexy burrito.
And it's like,
I don't know. I love that guy's voice.
yeah.
Yeah, if anyone actually had that, I mean, I'm sure somebody had to have it that they stole it from AI and all, but either way.
I mean, it's an Instagram, bro.
How do you add an epicenter to my 5-channel Forza amplifier? So this is going to be one of those interesting questions so it's not as hard as you would think, but it could be. It all depends on how you're integrating into your Forza amplifier, okay? So what I mean by that is the channel that is powering your subwoofers, on the other side of that has to be your epicenter. So without knowing how you're integrating into it, I'm going to give you some cases that you might be doing. So for example, if you're tying it into an aftermarket radio, typically you have front, rear, and sub coming out of the aftermarket radio. And you're going to plug those 6 RCAs into the Forza amplifier, and you're going to go to the input mixer and direct them all the way to go. In this case, you would unplug the subwoofer RCA, you'd put the epicenter in front of it, plug that in, plug that out.
So integrated into a factory Toyota JBL.
Okay, so keep moving. So next is going to be if you have if you have a factory stereo, how do I do that? Now, if you have a factory Toyota JBL, if it's non-2024, you're going to use an Amp Pro. You're going to plug in, you're going to use the same 6-channel RC outputs, and you're going to go in, and you're going to unplug the subwoofer one, put your epicenter, RCA in, RC out, using the sub input, whatever you use for that. Now, if it's a newer one and you didn't get the Amp Pro, and you're like, I have to do speaker for speaker, well, that's, there again, not a big deal, but you're going to have the factory subwoofer in there that's going to come in on one of the channels. So I would recommend at that point getting the Epicenter Micro, because that has a high level to low level adapter with load built into it. And then the channel, the channel that you're going to be using for your subs, okay, you're going to come high level into the Epicenter Micro and then RC out into the channel of the amplifier, because you can do RCA and high level input into the amplifier. You just change that in your input mixer so that whatever channel is feeding the subwoofer is now directed towards the RCA input instead of the high level input. So it's actually, it's not as bad as you think, and I hope that made sense. So it's actually pretty easy. Okay, I know I hate that word. Dean, try. No. What is that?
Tamarind.
Oh, I hate tamarind, man. Tamarind sucks. Yeah,
Frank.
I'm with you, Frank. It's disgusting.
Dude, tamarind is the best. Tastes good.
Listen,
It's so good.
it's okay. I don't have to like something. If
You're
you like
not
it,
in my team, so you suck.
It's okay. We can still be friends. We can still be friends.
Yeah, not anymore.
I just don't have to like your crap. I will drink water or spit. I'm just saying.
That's how they make these margaritas.
A spit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mexican spit.
Yeah. I mean,
la, 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 la. Yeah.
just
Anyways,
a little bit
the new audio control amps don't have an integrated epicenter. Your last video just had too many cables. I mean, not really. It was literally just a power cable and
it's just a power cable, and yeah, but
so I mean, it's the new Epic series, and the reality is the video is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to answer the question that everyone was asking: why are you calling it an Epic amplifier if it doesn't have an epicenter built into it? And we're right there with you. Don't get me wrong. However, the intended purpose of the video was to show how this is supposed to be used. Connection-wise. We were asked to do it. We did it.
That's it, man.
And that's it. I mean, I didn't make the amplifier. I didn't have anything to do with it. It literally, like you guys, if you watch the Instagram show, hello, it was the brown box that was sitting on the table that we couldn't tell you guys about. Mm-hmm. They literally walked in and were like, hey, check this out. And we're like, holy crap, we didn't know anything about this. And like, can you make an amp rack for us? And we're like, sure. Okay. And then it was gone. So it was here for that. And then they like literally like, hey, by the way, when is that going to be done? And we're like, oh, so boom, it went. I can't even show you the pictures yet, which kind of sucks. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
what is a good rule of thumb power-wise in pairing an amplifier with a subwoofer? Should you match the amp RMS power to the subwoofer RMS power? Choose an amplifier that is between the subwoofer RMS and the peak power.
So this always reminds me of a funny story with the Alpine R-types. Remember we were at the other stores, probably right when you first started, that one night the guy shows up with the 1,000-watt Alpine amp and the blown R-type. And we're like, what the hell? And he goes, what do you mean? So the peak power on the Alpine R-type at the time was 1,000 watts. Yes. So he went out and he bought the Alpine 1,000-watt amplifier because that's what the peak power was on it, and hooked it up, and he blew it like quick. And he was like, why did I do that? Because peak power is 1,000 watts, regular power, nominal, RMS, call it whatever, it was 500 watts. You need a 500-watt amp. He goes, well, yeah, but it says 1,000 watts on the box. He says, no, it will handle up to 1,000 watts of power. A 500-watt amp isn't always a 500-watt amp. It's going to fluctuate. Could give you more, could give you less, but either way, it's 1,000 watts. Yeah. Okay, it's not going to do it.
It's confusing.
Yeah. So the reality is you can put 10 watts on a woofer if you wanted to. It all has to do with how much output you want out of the woofer. If you're trying to maximize the potential on everything you do, which is what a lot of people, that's where the phrase, you put a 1,000-watt amplifier or underpower a subwoofer, you blow it up. Pardon me. That is the most biggest pile of
crap.
Yeah, ever. Because, all right, let's apply some common sense to this. If I get into my car and I have a 2,000-watt woofer in the back seating on a 100-watt amplifier, and I have my gain structure set up properly so that and I turn it up to normal volume, and I listen to it, and the subwoofer's back there, and it's not making much, but it's enough for me.
It's playing.
I will never blow that woofer. I've underpowered it, but I will never blow it. Same situation. Now, if I have a woofer back there, it's a 2,000-watt woofer, I have 1,000 watts of power on it, and I have my gain structure set up properly, and I turn it up, and it's just there's plenty of bass, I will never blow that woofer because I'm only listening to it at volume 5. It's never going to blow. It's never going to blow. I'm technically underpowering it because I only have my volume at 5. So the reality of it is you have to figure out how much bass you want. And then you have to buy the biggest woofer that you feel you need in order to fulfill that, or the smallest woofer. And then power it with whatever so if peak power is 1,000 watts, cut it in half. That's always my rule. So if it says it'll handle 600 watts, I'm putting 300 watts to it. If you're like, oh, it's not going to be enough, then I'm going to sell you a 1,000-watt woofer. I'm going to put 500 watts to it. Okay. And I'm going to sell you a good amplifier so that I know that it's actually going to give me the power I'm asking. Now, I'm not going to sell you some little POS amplifier that says it's 800 watts and has a 30 amp fuse on it. You're going, really? Nah, not going to happen. But that's a good, safe thing to do. The biggest thing is to make sure you're realistic about what you're trying to do. You know, you'll get the guy that goes and buys one 8-inch subwoofer, puts it in the back of his car with 300 watts on it, which is totally realistic. Like, it can handle that. And in a perfect world, it'll do that. But then he gets in and he realizes it's not enough bass. So he thinks if he turns up his gain, like, that's going to solve the problem.
Yes.
No, it's going to blow the woofer up and it's going to suck. And you're like, well, dude, I put too much power to it. No, you didn't. You set your gain structure wrong. So you heated up the voice coil and burned it. The power would have been fine. It's just the volume wasn't what you wanted. You wanted more volume. You weren't realistic about what you were trying to do. And that's where most people screw up.
So don't screw it up, guys.
Don't screw up.
All right. Hey, Dean.
Yep.
Okay.
Or if
anyone knows the difference between the pack LPH VW1 and the LPH VW2.
I mean, I'm guessing. Did you look it up
of
already?
Course.
That's the one.
LPH W1, it has 40-pin harness.
Where's the VW2?
The LPH W2 has 54-pin harness.
So click on the picture.
Hang on.
Okay.
So the W2 is from 2015 to 2021.
That's the newer harness. It's going to have the micro.
Right. The V1 is from 2001 to 2017.
So where this is going to be different is the bottom harness. So the standard top part of the harness where the speaker wires and the power is going to be the same. It's the secondary harnesses that are attached to it is where they become different. One of them has a row, a couple of them have blocks. So one of them has a strip across the bottom, the other one has 2 plugs across the bottom. So that's it. They look very similar. The 2 plug has more wiring than the single row.
Yeah.
So when looking at the plug, that's what you have to look at.
Yeah. And if you go to the pack side, you type those and you can see the right there.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
You know, it has the document that you can download the owner's manual. You can see a description and everything. So I would definitely recommend to go before you buy it. Or you can remove your radio, see what kind of harness do you have, and then you can make your purchase.
Or buy them both and send one back on Amazon. Then you could send your wife. You could send your wife to Kohl's.
You know,
she could get Kohl's cash.
Call Mary Lou and says like, "Hey, 2. I don't need this one. Send it back." I don't know.
I mean, you know, hey.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll donate a recon kit for tax purposes.
Okay.
Hi, Cuddy. Hi. I'm running Marine speakers, 35-foot runs, a 14-gauge OFC speaker wire for 85 watts per channel, adequate. Yeah, it should be fine.
Perfect.
Yeah, that should be fine. Hi, guys.
Hi.
I have a Kenwood 9 Series head unit. What is happening when the volume bar changes to purple and the volume doesn't change, but the bar still goes up and down? Oh, fantastic you asked this question. Most people don't realize it does it. It actually goes purple, green, and blue are the 3 colors. The reason why it does this is because that is denoting what is actually happening. So what I mean by that is when you're talking on the phone, and during a phone conversation and you work the volume control, it is going to be one color. When Siri is talking or Android Auto, one of the 2 talking heads in your car is talking and you work the volume while they're talking, it is going to be a different color. And then when the main volume is actually on and you work the volume, that will be a 3rd color. Now, I don't remember the color schemes on what is what, but those are why those colors are like that, is so that it's denoting to you that as I'm turning up the volume while I'm doing something other than listening to music, when it switches back, it's not going to blast you out of the car if you turned it up. So a lot of the times when talking on the Bluetooth call or the wireless call, we'll just call it, you have to turn it up because like maybe the windows are down or they're like talking with the phone over here, you know, and you're going, put it to your mouth. You know, and so you're like,
I still don't understand why in 2024, we have cars with Bluetooth, right? and still see people driving like this.
With my phone instead of the phone that was yours right next to your
correct,
hand?
correct, like this. They still do this.
Well, they don't want anyone else in the car to hear what they're saying.
And they do that because they have a Tesla. Ah, see? They can drive hands. Anyways,
that's why those colors exist.
Yes, but the purple is actually for the Bluetooth Series 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
You
The other one, no. And the other one is kind of like light green-ish.
Yeah, it's green and blue. There's
yes,
green and
so
blue.
that's due volume.
Yeah. So there you go. That's why it's doing. Why it's not working properly for you, I don't know, but that's what it's for. Have you guys ever done a video on full tune from RTA to mic to adjustments and results? If not, it would be swell.
I think we've done that.
I don't know. No, we've never done like, hey guys, here's our process for tuning a car. Well, here's the things we look for.
Okay.
No, we talk about it loosely when we're doing a video, but we have never done this is our method.
I think so.
We haven't.
I think we did.
I'm telling you, I edit all the videos. I know we've done it. No, we talk about it a lot, but we've never actually gone in and said, we've talked everything around it. Okay. Like we've shown every aspect of it is out there that we've filmed.
Yeah.
But we've never sat there and said, okay, here's where we put it. Here's the mic. Here's what it looks like on the RTA. Here's what we've never done that.
I don't know.
Because it's an ancient Chinese secret.
All right. So this is the question 25. Grape Fanta or apple Fanta?
Oh, grape. Grape
Orange.
is apple sucks. Apple's just gross. There's very little apple, like other than apple, that is like apple pie is good. You get maybe an apple muffin or something like that. Some baked
Applesauce is fantastic. I've been eating it for a long time. It's fantastic.
It's good for a while, and then you're just kind of like, yeah, I don't have to eat this anymore. DM 608 with the Hertz amps with Milli Pros and a Mazda CX-5 2022. Not sure, but when I put the volume up, it turns off.
So how do you set the gains on the DM608?
So the gains are in the
you want to change your
no. Yeah, we didn't change that. Yeah. All right, hold on. I got to shut this down because I opened the wrong one.
Sounds good.
Actually, hold on. You pull up yours. And
okay.
You can do the ad while I look this up.
All right. Well, the next portion of the show, guy, is brought to you by the fine folks at Tinkware Store.
Where?
Tinkware Store.
Where?
Tinkware Store. Tinkware Store. Tink.
Yeah, think. I got it.
Hear me?
Yeah, I heard you that time.
Perfect.
Thanks.
So, if you are in a hunt for a dash cam, because it's very dangerous outside, guys.
So
it's
dangerous.
A lot of crazy people. So might as well put a dash cam so you can record it, and it's not your phone. No, maybe it's your phone. So don't show the dash cam footage. But get your dash cam, install it, and if you're actually looking for a professional install, just go to the website tinkwarestores.com and boom, you had the dealer location, and it's putting out all these dealers that they are professional. They can install your dash cam. So
well, I was hoping to open this on here, but it is.
Yeah, no, I see. You're taking too long.
I don't know what it's doing. Well, no, it's like trying to update. And
no.
I don't need a.
So he also say everything is wired correctly, but the tweeters are popping different with the passive crossovers. So that's some manufacturers actually do that with the passive crossovers. Like the mid bass pops green, red, and then when you pop the tweeter, it's gonna pop red, green.
Yeah, they actually switched the polarity in the passive crossover.
Why?
Because it's either a 6 or 12 dB crossover network, and in order for it to align properly and not have a dip at the crossover frequency, you flip one 180 with the other, and that'll prohibit that. But when you go to a electronic crossover where you have infinite adjustment, you can select Linkwitz Riley 24 dB per octave crossover, which is basically 2 Butterworth 12 dB crossovers. But needless to say, what that does is that is the issue at the crossover point of a dip. So in a passive world, more than likely the tweeter in the mid-range will be backwards. And if it's a three-way set, it usually goes positive, negative, positive. So tweeter would be positive, mid-range would be negative, mid-bass would be positive because of the 12 dB crossover network. Unless they built the speakers in a manner in which that doesn't affect it. So like a lot of times Morel speakers don't do that because the FS on the tweeter is a lot lower, and they're also using a 6 dB crossover network. Anyways, with that being said, let me jump over here to the laptop. So right here at the top, can you hide that for just a second so I can see the top of this?
Sure.
So your gain control on a DM608 is right here in the input view. This knob right here, which says 0 dB, this is your gain control, okay? So this is your input gain control. And then if you come over here to output view and you grab this where it says tweeter or channels 1 and 2, this is now your channel output level control, is this guy right here. Now this one comes default all the way up. So if you want to, you can start with all of these at, let's say, negative, I don't know, 6 or negative 10. That way, if you want to go up on some, you can. And if you want to go down on others, you can. That is one of the oddballs of this particular software. So especially when doing it as not an amplifier, so you have to play with these here. Or if you leave the output view, if you leave this and you leave this turned all the way up, then you have to make sure the gains in your amplifiers are as low as possible. So you can only just go lower here. So that's where your gains are located in this particular software. Okay, you can pull ThinkWare back up.
Dean.
Yes.
Your burp was 82 hertz.
Man, that is fantastic.
It's
that was a good burp.
It's okay.
Thank you. I mean, means a lot.
Okay. All right. What is the next one?
I'm assuming it's right there.
I'm looking.
Okay, no, look away.
Just. I know Focal and Morel are the two go for F-150s. I mean, we do a lot.
Three-ways you install 8-inch mid-range in the front? Yeah, actually we have. So Focal doesn't really make an 8-inch. They make it in the integration line.
There you go.
So they have it in the integration line along with the 6x9. So it's like, which one do you go with? Morel now has the entry, or I'm going to say the universal. It's the universal 8-inch and tweeter, which is kind of nice. Those will easily fit. Morel also has the 9-inch, which is in the Elate line. So they have the Elate 9-inch. So if you're looking for like a super amazing pro driver, and that will also fit in the front door of an F-150, you do have to make custom brackets for that. I think MTI offers those, and I think you can also get them from Sage too. I know Sage sells them from It Sounds Good Stereo. I would go to Sage, pick them up from Sounds Good Stereo. I'm trying to think, what 8-inch did he just put in the door of that Ram?
Who?
Sage.
Was
it the? Oh, it was the Utopia.
Yes, the Utopias.
Yeah, so they do have it in the Utopia line, which
that's massive, bro. Massive.
Look at Frank's trying to start some crap.
Tell us how you feel. Bro.
I have no thoughts on the matter. Have you used the Museway DSP amps for anything? No. We played with the software, but no. And we had we've listened to the car. But no, we haven't really done anything.
Elfo with the 5, thank you, man. 54 days to my favorite car audio live of the year. Thanksgiving on the beach.
Bro, that place went underwater. Yeah. I haven't even been over there to see what it looks like.
Oh, dude.
When you're dropping more Bronco videos. So I want to apologize to you, Mark. This week was interesting. Normally, as you guys have been following, like Tuesday is a review of some kind, and Wednesday is or Thursday. I'm just thinking of how I edit them. So anyways, Thursday is the install diaries, and Wednesday is anyways, you know what it is. And this week we didn't do that. I'm sorry. So next week, there'll be one on Thursday, part 2. We had to get out that video for the audio control Epic amplifier, only because those amplifiers just dropped. And for one, we wanted to make sure that we got out how this actually works. And I wasn't going to. I was going to wait and release it this coming up week. But there were so many questions on how this epicenter function was supposed to work. It just made more sense to get that out, to kind of forego some of the questions that we knew were going to come. And that way they could share internally, they could share the video with anyone that asked that question. So I apologize. I don't like doing that. It's what happened this week. So, but don't worry, there'll be more Bronco. I trust me. We've got 2 Bronco videos in the can. The one you're seeing now, we have another one right after that with the BO system. So we'll have all the questions for Broncos are going to be answered, because we do 2 totally, completely different systems in them. And so it's really cool. We might squeeze the Camry in there just to break up the monotony, so people don't give me the oh my God, is this just turned into the Bronco channel now? What the hell? Because we'll get that. And it's so annoying. Anyways, yes, it will be coming.
Can you add the steering wheel controls to a later model car that doesn't have them? I've seen some cheap Android units that offer them.
So, all right, there used to be, back in the day, there used to be this cool piece that you'd attach to the steering wheel. Had this little strap, and you put it on, and had a little button so that you could just, like, it was neat. I don't think they sell it anymore. It was battery operated. It was kind of cool. Everyone has had one. And they've just, because now, like, you can't even really buy a radio with a remote control anymore. I think Pioneer might still sell them, but outside of that, nobody does. Because honestly, it was kind of a dumb idea. But yeah, exactly. No, I don't really think that's ever going to be. Now, in some cases, we have had guys that are extremely creative buy the versions of their car steering wheel control and put new clock springs in and do all this ridiculousness and get steering wheel controls to work. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Now, the thing is, as far as like the remote goes, is most radios are actually still remote control compatible. I mean, it still has an eye on it. They just don't sell you the remote anymore. So like you can buy the remotes. They're just nobody gives them away like they used to. So if you're like one of those guys who wants to do this so that you don't have to do that, maybe check out a remote.
All right. So
I have a 12 Chrysler 300, added an LC2i with Focal FLAC 6.5, adding 2 amps, Audison 4-channel, and a JL audio. My question is, where is the best place to get the signal for the LC2i?
Right. Here you go. Here we go. Lisa comes.
Use an Amp Pro, or better yet, it's 2012, do a new radio. I'm not going to disagree with any of that. Melissa's pretty on point there. So here's a couple questions to answer that question. Just first off, LC2i, definitely the wrong piece for the job. I understand, but let's move on. If it is a premium audio version of it, meaning there is a branded system in there and has an outboard amplifier, at that point, throw the LC2i back to whoever you bought it from, because 2 channels there's no 2 channels in the car anywhere that you're going to be able to tap into in order to get a good signal out of that, because everything is amplified, everything is on its own channel. You need summing at that point. That's what the Amp Pro is for, is that it's going to talk to the radio in between the amplifier and that signal that's passing between the two, because the amplifier does all the equalization, all the crossover, all the dynamic EQ is done in the amplifier. If you can steal the signal here, okay, then you can re-amplify it, and it's a perfectly 20 to 20 nice flat signal. It's fantastic. That's why you say Amp Pro. Now, if it's an amplified system. So LC2i out the window, you can't even do it. Now, if it's a non-premium audio system, so it's just a radio, goes off to 4 speakers. The EQ now is built into the radio, okay? And what that is going to do is that's going to have bass roll-off, which is dynamic EQ, which means as you turn the volume up, the impact from the music is going to roll down along with the highs because it's loudness. So you just have to keep that in mind when doing it. But the speakers you're going to tap are going to be the front 2 speakers, okay? Doesn't matter which ones, because they're all on the same thing, meaning the dash and the doors are it's the same wire, because there's only 4-channel output. You're going to need the front 2 speakers. The rear 2 speakers are actually actively crossed over from the radio. meaning they do not play the same frequency as the front speakers, because your front speakers are the subwoofers, aka mid-bass. The rear is more of a mid-range, and it's reflected in the EQ and crossover settings from the factory radio. Now, the reason why she said Amp Pro is because what will happen is if you buy the Amp Pro and plug it in, there's some settings you do. You turn the car off, wait 20 minutes, turn it back on, turn it off, wait 20 minutes. And what it's actually going to do is reflash the radio in the car to tell it, hey, you're the premium audio radio. Give me a flat signal output, which will in turn go to the Amp Pro, and then you get your 6-channel preamp output just like it was an amplified system. Okay, so that's why she's doing that. So that's really how that has to go. Now, you're going with an Audison amplifier. Hopefully, it's one of the DSP ones, so you'll be able to have something in there that's cool. But I would still, it looks like you spent a decent amount of money on the system. Go one step further and get the Amp Pro. You'll be much happier for it. Yay. Hi. Will the LC2i work for integrating into the factory radio in a 2019 Volkswagen Atlas? So let's take a minute and realize what an LC2i is. An LC2i is a really nice 2-channel high level to low level adapter. So for example, go ahead and shut that off. We're going to go on. This thing is brought to you by Audio Control. Here we go. So this is the LC2i right here. This is the LC2i Pro. The main difference between the Pro and the non-Pro is the Pro comes with the bass knob, and it has load resistance built into it. So we got that out of the way. This will take any 2 channels of audio, compress them down, and then pass them out through the RCAs, which are located over here. Now, there's 4 outputs. There's 2 inputs. The reason why there's 4 outputs, you have 2 outputs here. Do not use the AccuBass. Now, AccuBass is designed to compensate for bass roll-off, aka loudness, dynamic EQ. So it allows you to dial into where it rolls off and keep it going. So in some cases, this is a really cool thing to have. The LC1i, this guy right here, is very similar to the LC2i. It just has 2 in and 2 out, and it is a line driver. So this can actually be used with or without. So it can do high level or low level because it is a line driver. So each one of these does something a little different. The Epicenter Micro, of course, has an epicenter built into it. But regardless, if you pick this and all you have is a left and right output, then you're fantastic. You can plug right in and you'll have low level signal out. If you have multiple channels, then this isn't going to do it for you. At that point, you're going to switch over to the LC7i or the LC7i Pro. These have 6 channels of input. So you can run in front, rear, sub, front tweeter, front, mid, sub. Anyways, you get the idea where this will allow you to tie in more channels and have more RC outputs. You can also sum the channels together if you need to, meaning take 2. Yeah, okay. So that is an LC7i. So depending on what you're trying to get into, now if you're just adding a subwoofer to the system, the LC2i Pro is going to be fantastic for that. It'll do the job. The LCQ1 is going to be the same as the LC7, just has an analog EQ built into it. And then, of course, the big guy here on the end, which is the DM810. This is your ultimate in solutions. This is a DSP. So the DSP is going to have more channels of input, more ability to fix the factory signal, as well as fix the output and tune the car. So one of these high-level to low-level adapters will probably get you in. Now, of course, then you have the second-tier products, which are like your Amp Pros, your ARs, and whatnot. Some Volkswagens are actually capable of using the iData interface. So you can use an iData AR interface. Now, the AR is going to be just like we talked about with the Chrysler system, is that it's going to go into the radio and give us a preamp section output. So for that, you need to head over to idatalink.com and check out and see if they make integration into your car. So it just depends on what you're trying to do, but those are really how we sum all that up. This has been brought to you by the fine folks at Audio Control. You can head over to audiocontrol.com. You can learn more about products like this for integrating into your factory stereo. Okay, moving on. Oh, my battery's gonna go dead. Read the next question.
All right, 5-star car stereo.
That's us.
That's us?
Yeah.
Okay. What is a good rule of thumb for a complete system? I'm thinking 50% on the actual equipment and the other 50% on the installation, sub, box, power upgrades, and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so that's actually right about on point. If you're going to be doing it yourself, then it's probably more of a 70-30 mix.
Okay.
If you're going to pay somebody to do it, then it's probably maybe a 40-60 mix.
Okay.
Where you're going to spend more money on installation and accessories than on equipment.
Okay.
So, I mean, for me, okay, so let's take the door speaker analogy, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm going to put speakers in the door.
Mm-hmm.
If I buy a $300 set of speakers,
mm-hmm.
I need to buy brackets
mm-hmm.
for the speakers, which is about, $35-$40. Now, if it's a component set, you might have to buy 2 sets of brackets, one for the dash, one for so you could be like $70 to $80.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna need plugs, which is another, let's say, $50 because you got 2 sets of plugs you need to buy.
Yeah.
So we're at $130.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's if we're just gonna screw them in. Okay. So $300 set of speakers, I need $150 worth of parts. All right. Now, if you're gonna pay someone to do that, you're probably gonna spend another $300, maybe $250 to $300
mm-hmm.
to put this $300 set of speakers in. So you're at $450 to put in a $300 set of speakers. Now, if you add sound treatment, you're going to be like, okay, so now you're looking at possibly about another, let's say 100. If you're going to do it yourself, about $100. If you're going to pay somebody to do it, you're probably looking at about $250. So now you've $300 set of speakers. You're up to $550, $600 for installation of those speakers. Sure. But keep in mind, it's not just all installation. It's all the accessories, the labor, the time, the parts, the screws, the foam. Solder, all that stuff goes into this. So at that point, this was $300. This was $600. It's double. Okay. That's a realistic amount of money. That's why. Now, here's the fun in all of this. If you buy a $600 set of speakers, it's still only going to cost you $600 to put them in.
Okay.
Okay. So it's one of those things where it's like.
See, I have different idea with this.
Okay.
For example, I would put 60%, hear me out, 60% on the tuning part.
He loves numbers.
Yes.
On the tuning part?
On the tuning part. Let me finish. 60% on the tuning part.
And by tuning, what do we mean?
Set it up the right way. So, because if you put 50% on your equipment, and 50% and the goodies and all that stuff. And in the end of the day, you don't know how to tune it or you tune sucks. It doesn't matter if you have this type of equipment.
Correct. Well, if you slow some,
the outcome is going to be bad.
So, all right, let's say you buy a Blackbird.
Yes.
Okay, and they're like,
regardless, what's the price? Sure.
Let's say $1,700.
Sure.
Okay. To install the $1,700 amplifier, we're going to need a power kit. You need a 4-gauge power kit.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a dual run of 4-gauge, it's a single run of 4-gauge. So a good power kit right now is between $150 to $250. Okay. Now we're going to need speaker wire and RCAs.
Yeah.
So they're again probably another $100 to $300 depending on the RCAs you get.
Sure.
So so we're at almost $700 or $600. And that's just for parts. Now you have labor. That's going to be a 4-hour job for installation.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be another $700. Okay, so now we're $1,300, and then we have to tune it, which is minimum 2 to 4 hours. Their labor doesn't change, so there's another $600. So by the time we're done, we spent more money on. That's what I'm saying. Installation. So yes, but if you take the labor out of it, it's about 40% on products, 60% on tuning and installation.
That's what I'm saying. Like 60% on that, 40% you put. I don't know. I think I would say like 30% on your equipment and the 10% on your goodies that you have to buy to make sure everything is the right way. But I think setting it up, your system is a key. Because sometimes we have systems that is beautiful, good equipment, good amplifiers, good RCAs and sound treatment and everything. It sounds bad.
Yeah.
And these customers have bad experience just because of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey guys, this next section is brought to you by the fine folks at, hold on, don't put up anything, at Arc Audio. They've showed up.
It's backwards.
I know.
There you go.
We've been talking about these Moto speakers for a while now, and the box is actually filled up. Fernando's not had the pleasure of seeing these yet,
No.
And we're going to learn more about these next week, of course. But I wanted to take a minute to actually show them to him, because this is the reason. I talked about this on Hi-Fi the other night, and we talked about I'm going to build a Bluetooth speaker. So I'm going to make a portable, cool Bluetooth speaker. I ordered a bunch of stuff to do this. I didn't know how crazy this world was. But once I saw these, I immediately was like, oh my God, I need to make a speaker so I can just jam out to these things. I would like to show these to you so you can understand why I went a little goofy and spent a whole bunch of money on doing a DIY Bluetooth speaker. But check these things out. Oh my gosh. We got a Neo magnet. We got a foam.
Holy moly, dude.
Is that foam? Yeah. It's like, I don't even know. It's like a treated cloth. This is sealed. So this is butyl rubber, and that's all sealed. This is the horn tweeter.
Wow.
So check these things out. So for those of you guys, this is the Moto 602 HD. So they call it a motorcycle speaker, which is really silly because I'm actually thinking these would be fantastic in like one of the Jeeps that we do. Put that down in there, or just something that we needed, like a really amazingly loud set of coaxials. But yeah, it's super sexy. It's a horn way down in there.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I just think it looks really neat. I'm easily excited, guys. You know this. But anyways, this
Dude, that's nice.
Is the new. These aren't new, but they're new to us. This is the Moto speaker line that we've been like, hey, check these things out. How sexy is that? Anyways, look, I haven't got the parts in yet, but I'm gonna take one of those like Pelican case, you get from the cheap store. I have a bunch of them over here. I got to figure out which one I need. And we're gonna make this really overly built Bluetooth portable speaker so that we can jam these things. How cool is that, right?
Yeah.
It'll be waterproof. It'll be waterproof-ish.
I'm excited to hear them.
Right?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to keep as waterproof as I can, but I think I bought the control panel, so it probably won't be. But if you're interested in something cool like this, they also make it in a conventional style speaker as well as a 6x9.
Yeah.
You can head over to arcaudio.com. We got a ton of cool stuff in that box. This was just the one thing I took out of the box because I gotta be honest, I've been really looking forward to seeing these and touching them. So can't wait to get rock and rolling on that. Yeah. But anyways, you can head over to arcaudio.com along with cool things like the Blackbird, the PSM Pro, and just the badass DNA software that we talk about all the time. That fabric is hydromorphic, keeps the tweeter horn waterproof. I knew Brad would tell me exactly what it was.
Hydromorphic.
I know, that's fantastic,
so cool.
Right? And that's why I was like, I want to make.
Sounds like a
dude. I want to make this thing
hydromorphic.
I mean, it's not gonna be as cool as what Brad built for his desk.
Oh, dude, I love those.
That thing was so awesome.
I love those. It's like,
yeah, Brad. Listen, guys, Brad is the biggest nerd in the world. That's why I love him, and he likes crinkle cut fries. Like, so we can just talk nerdy shit over crinkle cut fries all night long. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
But so that's my plan for those. But if you would like to put them in your ride because they're badass, head over to arcaudio.com and check them out. Yeah, I think these things are going to be fabulous in a Jeep.
Oh, I'm excited to hear them.
Because, I mean, so maybe the next Jeep, we'll put 4 of those in and some tweeters up top. Launch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Melissa's answered the question for you, so
if you find one, just
Melissa does this for a living, guys. So if she's answering your question for you, she's good. Just do what she says. Pay attention
to her.
Just do what she says. Save yourself the headaches. So thank you, Melissa, for taking care of some of the questions we cannot get to. Where are the gains in the jail tweak software? That is a great question. I don't know if I remember. I haven't launched that in a minute. Hold on. Let's see how well this software works. So the cool thing is that JL and Audio Control are both the only 2 DSP softwares that will work on a
Mac.
Yeah. So I can actually like pull these things up. Cancel.
What's up, Jeff?
Okay. What I really need is somebody like Fro to show me. All right, so there's
Walk you through it.
Yeah, because he's way better at this than I am.
You're gonna have what's his name over there?
Pre-EQ. Okay, so here we go. So here is your pre-EQ level right here. So this is gonna go. This will allow you to turn down. So this is your input EQ. Our input volume control is located right here.
Okay.
So this allows you to do that. And then if I look at this right here, this is another gain control for me. So I have another gain right here. So there's gain 1 and there's gain 2.
Okay.
And then if we head over here to tune portion of it, I have my gain located right here. So this is my output gain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. This is my EQ gain. Okay. So that's this gain here for the frequency.
Okay. All the way in the bottom, this is output.
Level trim. There you go. There's my output gain right there.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, all of these are cuts. So these are all just cutting down the signal. I do have, these are your volume controls that correspond to your knob, which a lot of people don't set these up like to where it makes sense. So for example, these two where it says DRC setup, you can decide what you want. So everyone always makes like the subwoofer level the inside. I like the subwoofer level as the outside knob, but either way, you can have all kinds of fun with that. But anytime you see, so let's see what this does. So if you turn on the plus, nope, doesn't give me anything. So can I do that? Oh, negative, minus. Yeah, so there's your gains.
That's fantastic.
I don't think it is.
No?
No.
Okay.
So that's the cool thing about DNA is like, there's volume control everywhere throughout that thing. Like you just like, there's like so many of them. It's like, oh, you need more volume? Here, go there. Oh yeah, I can do that. Oh, you need more input? Yeah, it's over here. It's like so cool. Anyways, but there again, yes, everyone is going to have it. Fernando, did you show Dean my Bluetooth speaker on your 12-volt page for Clean Wire Club? Sounds like same project. Is this the one you showed me the other day?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
yes. Yeah. And that's why I came up with it. He showed it to me, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to do that." So I went over to
Parks Express.
Yes, God, I don't know why I can't
start finding a lot of stuff.
I went down the rabbit hole, and I just ordered everything from Parts Express. I have so much going on. Yes, GM makes the yep. There you go. There you go, dude. She's on point tonight.
Of course,
Way to go,
she's always like
fantastic.
Recommendation for a budget USB microphone.
So believe it or not, there's a bunch of them. So, okay. If you would like a kit with support, I would recommend spending the money and getting the Audio Frog UMI 1. Okay. This is well worth the money because this is backed up by Andy, and Andy has a ton of tech papers and instructions and all kinds of fun stuff to make this super way more like you're just not left out on your own. Inside the kit, it comes with everything that you need, which is fantastic. This is the microphone here. It has a mount for your headrest. And like I said, it comes with a tuning disc that you can easily convert over to a thumb drive. It might even come with a thumb drive now.
Yeah.
But he does a fantastic job of explaining this all over. And if you don't, you can head over to Audio Frog, go to Audio Frog U, where he talks about this a lot. This is a great little piece. I think it's like $2.99. Okay, so.
But it's worth it.
But it's worth it because
sure. Not
only are you paying, it might even be $1.99. I don't know, but you're paying for Andy is what you're doing and his support and his brains.
Yeah.
So that is extremely worth it. Outside of that, which I know I need to put it on the website. Where do we hide those?
What?
The new ones, the Behringer stuff. Where did we put that?
It's in a box.
Is it all the way up there?
I don't know. We have so many, man.
I know.
I don't think right now you're gonna find it. Oh, it's not in the small one?
No, that's the one that they don't make anymore.
No, there's not that one.
Not that one?
No.
Oh, is it this one?
Maybe.
Anyways.
Yeah, like I said, right now you're just gonna start throwing everything down and.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at. Anyways, I know I need to put up links to the Behringer stuff, which is actually pretty reasonably priced, about $150. I think the cheapest all-in-one mic is either going to be the Dayton Audio one, actually, it's sitting at my house. I got it in the other day.
Very nice.
So yeah, I got it in his piece the other day. I ordered it. I paid for it. Dayton Audio or the Mini DSP from Mini DSP, the brand Mini DSP also makes one, which I have one of the. I don't have the Dayton Audio one yet. I just haven't bought it, but I bought the Mini DSP one. It's really nice, solid build. But Dayton seems to, I think, makes the cheapest one.
Yeah. All right. I think this is gonna be probably
the last
questions. Yeah.
I want to add my front component set. I'm running DSP and RTI Audio Frog. What do you recommend in custom kicks, mid bass or woofer 6.5 side? Mid bass, definitely mid bass. Keep in mind, speakers need air. Okay, and if like the problem we're running into in the Broncos is that they have speakers in the kick. Everyone is excited. There's no air behind them. They sound like crap. So if you put a woofer there, you need an enclosure. It needs space. It needs room. So you have to build them out into the car and build a box for them. A mid bass is more of a free air driver. So you just need air behind it, or you need a way to vent it. So you get a much more pleasant experience there again, unless you can build some form of enclosure for it, in which case, then no, you're fine. But if you want true mid bass, you need a mid bass driver, not a subwoofer.
All right, last question.
Okay. Hey, Dean Fernando, hello. I have a
Kenwood sub
501 and a Kicker 2-ohm comp R. I tune it with the DD1, bass boost high, but it doesn't sound as loud as I suspected. Any advice? It is polarity checked, by the way. Well, it's only one woofer, so it doesn't matter whether it's polarity checked or not. It should be 501 as mono, so I'm guessing we're running it. Yeah.
That's a 2-ohm.
So here's the thing. This kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier in the show, where someone was asking about subwoofer and power handling and all those other fun things. It's probably not a problem with the woofer or the amplifier. You probably have them set up properly, but your desire for what you were hoping it would do doesn't match up with the driver. So you haven't done anything wrong other than underestimate what you were probably wanting to have. So I'm not there to hear it. But there again, it just depends. Like, can you turn it up a hair and get more out of it? I don't know. But if you're going to do that, like it sounds like you set it up perfectly fine and it's not giving the bass you want, at this point, probably need to double what it is you bought, meaning get a woofer that is twice as powerful and or 2 woofers and go up to 1,000-watt amp because it's just not delivering on what you wanted.
It's a comp R, right? So it's a regular subwoofer.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a regular comp R.
Box, yeah, maybe.
There again, it just depends on the volume, but this is one of those situations where it's like, hey, I get it. You want more than what it's capable of delivering. Mm-hmm. So 500-watt amp on that woofer is the perfect amount of power for it. It just can't deliver. Maybe swap out for a Q class and go to a 1,000-watt amplifier, an 800-watt amplifier. That might give you more power if you're like limited on space. Mm-hmm. Do a higher power subwoofer with more wattage. But yeah, it happens. It's a thing. To me, the subwoofer in the car is the last thing I worry about because I can always change it. As long as I've got enough power, I can go in and put in a different woofer in it and like get where I'm at. A lot of the times, somebody will explain to us, hey, I want this much bass. And we're like, nobody wants that. They want more. No, this is all I want. And it's like, okay, so we put a 10 in the car. And again, they're like, oh, I was really hoping there'd be more. And we're like, yeah, I know. That's why I tried to sell you the 12. Well, what can I do? We can put the 12 in. Oh, okay. And you put the 12 in and they go, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. And I go, oh my God, no way. That's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, you tried your hardest. Maybe put a key in there. Yeah, maybe put a key. All right. Gotta talk more on Monday. All right, listen, guys. Hey, that's the show. Thank you so much for playing with us. Make sure you head over to like arcaudio.com, audiocontrol.com, focal.com. Type in Focal playlist in your browser and go check out some of the playlists that Focal has curated for you. How cool is that? Thinkware dash cams at thinkwarestore.com, as well as, hey, just DNF tool drawer if you want the cool tools. Someone's asking about one of these shirts. You can pick up one of these shirts over on Teespring at dnfswag.com. That's dnfswag.com. There's links, of course, in the show notes for those. It's going to be one heck of a day. We got a fun week coming up here right around the corner. We have the possibility of another hurricane. And then, of course, Friday we leave to head up to Alabama to go to the World Finals in Iasca, which we're super excited about. Hopefully whatever is coming weather-wise just, doesn't do anything so we can make the trip, because that'll suck. I've already paid for the hotel, and I'm sure it's not refundable, because why would it be, So we're going regardless. I'm driving in the rain. Driving in the rain! Don't drive angry. We'll be doing the Monday show, of course, and then as of right now, there again, this might change because of the weather we have coming. Boss is supposed to be here Thursday.
Maybe
change.
We don't know.
It depends on what God decides to do. Mother Nature, whoever it is you pray to, ask them not to make it crappy weather for us, and then we can make this all happen, right?
That's right.
I'm going to go with what GS says. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys on Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.